And it's like it's a plan that I felt like worked, but it didn't work. Mess a man up right there now mentally. I'm hoping it's gonna be a recipe for disaster for him. Me and Darrell were gonna pull it up on Onyx. But my gosh. I got good vibes about tonight. Very, very good vibes. Got my little niece dropped off at volleyball. They got their game tonight. Go Knights. Hope they win, and hopefully I can score on a buck. Little point right over there is where I'm going. Been a rough couple days for my dad. Man, hope he can rebound. Something like that. Mess a man up right there now mentally. But I think he can do it. He can't hunt that deer for about a week. It's this northwest wind we got in here with this front coming through. But I've been waiting to get back in here. I ain't hunted this spot in over a week. Trying to wait on this right wind. Anything north is good. So tonight it ought to be perfect. Check this out. Obviously it hasn't been hit since the rain. There's a couple of scrapes right here. 10 yards from the stand. Put some of that mud off my feet for it. So it ain't dropping all night. It's dead calm. First time all year I've got 2 layers on. That being said, closer to dark. As a tip of the cap to Mr. Bill Winky, I'm probably gonna go ahead and engage Operation Jersey Glove. It's a little too early for them right now, but I gotta get them primed and get them ready. Well, you might get one. Last about a week after you do this. Unless you bring some matches with you. What I'm calling the old uptight deer. He's technically a 9, I think, or was. But he's running with the other deer. It's the big 9. I got them both the 9s on a lot of video and trail cam pictures of them all through the summer. Even back up not too far from here on this big mineral lick. When I was in here the other day, man, there was a bunch of water oaks starting to drop, and man, when they start dropping, them deer hammer it. Got to keep your head on a swivel tonight, because man, it's wet. You ain't gonna be able to hear nothing coming. You can't see far because of all the leaves. But I'm hit up here pretty good, so I think I'll be good. Just gotta pay attention. Just made it back to the buggy and got out of there. I didn't want to do a close in the tree. I know that was the big old tank body deer, tall rack. I don't know if I got any footage of it or not, but the does were all in there, and some of them drifted back up the hill and was feeding on the hillside. And one doe kept staring, and I looked, and I could just see a rack. He was up there rubbing a tree, and by the time I got the camera on him, he come in and just come blowing down the hill and ran all the does that were up there off, and the other doe and falling below me just fed around for another half an hour. I don't know, I thought he stopped right there. I just stayed completely still for, felt like 20 minutes, but my gosh. It sucks because I've been waiting for 10 or 12 days for this wind to hunt this deer, to try to make it happen. And man, it's like it's a plan that I felt like worked, but it didn't work. The old winky gloves almost came through, but just wasn't meant to be. I'm gonna give him a break here for a while. I'm headed north. This big boy will be here when I get back, unless Cheese or Nate get him or one of the neighbors, but I thought I had him. Not today. Well, it's the next day. To be honest with you, going back and looking at that footage of that deer from last night, I don't know, I actually sure I didn't spook him or something, or he winded me, because just looking by his body language and everything, the way he got out of there, I thought he was just running them does out, but I don't know, it kind of makes me wonder. But anyways, he's gonna have a little time to breathe. He was in there last night, middle of the night, back on the camera. I'm headed north, Tennessee, going to meet up my buddy Darrell Prentice, and the deer that I've had nightmares about since August, the big velvet deer with the kicker, is showing back up in this cut cornfield. It's supposed to be another cold front coming in tonight, so tomorrow will be north. I'm gonna throw some stands up, but I'm gonna get up there this afternoon and just go look at it. Me and Darrell are gonna pull it up on IX. About had a wreck right there. Slow down, buddy. Excited about being back in Tennessee. Uh-oh, tack dog. What you think, bud? What you think? Trey? Well, in case nobody remembers, I'm gonna reintroduce Darrell, the world renowned.
What's up, everybody? Time to go down.
Last time he was a dove guide. Now you're a deer guide.
Hey, but we're cutting corn, so we might be another dove guide in the next 2 or 3 days. So.
That's why he's the deer guide. What we got there?
We are fixing to do some fried rice on the Pit Boss griddle. And I've been around you Real Tree boys and Hunt Club boys and Buck Commander boys enough to know this Pit Boss griddle is fixing to get it on. Because we got to get our pubs in to everybody that helps us out. So it's about to go down on this griddle shortly.
There we go. That makes you want to cook a pancake before you do all that, don't it?
And let them cook first.
That hibachi chef.
Hibachi chef. Just no smoke coming out of the train track, because I can't do onion.
Well, I'm good. I'm glad you don't like an onion.
Yeah, we don't do onion.
No onion.
My wife says I get bad breath when I eat onions, so no onion. So we're gonna move this down here. We're gonna put the vegetables on here because they need to cook a little longer. And we're gonna do yours without broccoli. Got everything else settling, doing a few shrimp. Can't go wrong with shrimp. Get all this stirred up good with the egg.
Tomorrow could be a big day. We may be getting the cake from Publix instead of eating this.
True that.
Pine tree. Made it all the way from Georgia. There's a pine tree from Georgia.
I thought you was trying to be camouflaged on the way up here so nobody would see you going down the interstate.
We got her loaded up. We about to go hang this set. Gotta get this here. Already got a spot we looked at. I'm gonna hang a stand. Gotta go get it up and get the camera and everything set up, so all I gotta do is bring my boat back in here and get in the tree. Got a little bit of a lean, but it'll work. Pretty sweet though. Hopefully it's gonna be right there. You see him coming from all the way through there. It's where we think he's bedding, is right in that little cedar flat. Hopefully tonight is the night. Pretty much right over this little ridge on this corn is where that blind was I hunted in the summer. And there's patches of corn like this, and then Darrell had the camera, one of his cameras here. He had another one down here in the Spartans, and that's how we know he's still in here. He's been coming. He scattered some seed out here and just broadcast it on top.
Just broadcast it on top.
That's what them deer pretty much is.
This is coming up.
They're hammering it. All right, so here's the plan. I'm in the back end of this cornfield right now. I'm gonna leave the buggy here, walk in. Darrell's gonna drive in later on the gator, pick me up to push these deer out of here because I don't want to blow them out and be getting out of the stand. I'd rather him drive in here as much as he's been in here, bush hogging, and farmers have been in here. Make way more sense. I'm in the back end now, walking in. Shade's already starting to fall on the field. Ought to be a good evening. Check on the mic, check. All right, we're live. I wanted to break it down kind of real quick to make sure everybody understands what's going on here. This deer showed up in June, came up here hunting the velvet season, and he completely kicked my butt. Realizing because of why that happened is I think I was walking in right by where he was bedding. We thought he was bedding back way up here on this hill behind me now, but he wasn't. He was bedding straight across here in these cedars. Never even saw him. Deer completely went underground. The farmer was in here cutting his corn. He's a good buddy of Darrell's. Thank goodness he left a bunch of corn for later in the year. We kind of went back to the drawing board. I know people are going to be like, what the heck, this first week of October, and he just all of a sudden started showing back up every day on camera. Well, what we did was me and Darrell talked and decided let it get closer to season. Season comes in the last week of September. Darrell, he lives right down the road from me, and he's nice enough. He said, I'm going to go in there and start bush hogging corn just a couple strips at a time and keeping these Spartan cameras running and see if he shows back up. They'll eat that strip out, and he'll come in here a couple days later and bush hog another strip to where there's always fresh corn on the ground where that bush hog slings it. So that's what we've done. On top of all the bush hogging this corn, Darrell went out here and broadcast some backwoods just on top of this, some of that lazy acre stuff. And it's coming up and these deer are pounding it. He wasn't in here last night during daylight. Last picture of him was on this camera right down here at 4 o'clock this morning, going back to where we think he's bedding. So I'm hoping between the mixture of all that, of realizing that I screwed up where he was bedding, keeping fresh corn in here for him by bush hogging it, and giving him a little bit of green to munch on, and this weather front coming in, I'm hoping it's going to be a recipe for disaster for him. I just got to make the shot. But if he comes down to shoot right here. It's going to be 20 yards on the money right here. I can steer here, deer down in there, so like deer crunching on acres. Crazy. Had a lot of deer come from straight downwind of me, which I didn't expect. But I think this hill falls off enough. I ain't been winded yet. Old redneck ooer coming here. That's how it's done right there. I got the batteries dying on my GoPro here. Heck of a set, saw a ton of deer, just no shooters. But I'm spider web over there. Ain't no doubt that's the best way to get out of there without blowing them deer, you know, getting out of the stand, because I had deer all in there feeding. I could hear them, even deer that I couldn't see in my binoculars. But when Darrell pulled up, they just kind of eased off, not a deer blew or nothing. So keep eye on the camera. Got another north wind tomorrow, so I'll be back in that same stand tomorrow afternoon, probably a little bit earlier. High tomorrow 61, so maybe it'll get them on their feet. This moon's getting up though. We're fighting this full moon, so. But I was just talking to Darrell. Hopefully within 3 or 4 days, this deer's gonna show one day. He's due to show, so just stay after it. It's just taking a picture.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's a GoPro.
All right, go wear them out. All right, love you.
Me too.